And I think we need to face the reality. I think it's probably harder for cell and gene therapy than for biotech in general, because investors are probably going to more known things, less risk, so more risk aversion, and potentially more advanced later stage technologies. There's also impact on political and geopolitical, and I put it that way without being specific, because I'm sure when I say those words, each of you will understand the reality that impacts to you more directly, and in doing that, it impacts the field overall, and it goes from the US across all the way to Asia and China. So, we're seeing lower appetite for big pharma also as well, but we're definitely looking into alternative ways of funding the companies, and companies are looking for, in addition to investment, mergers, business development. We're doing what needs to be done to sustain the business, to develop the products to bring benefit to patients. And there was a paper in not long ago in Nature which was saying biotech financing darkest before the dawn. That also gave me the idea to give us a few pictures about sunset, sunrise, because that's a lot of hope and deception. So you see a few pictures. But in that paper, one thing caught my attention, which is there in bold, and it was part of a section, the title for the section is Modality Matters, ADC, not CGT. I mean, I got the humor of the writer, but I got the message of what we need to do in terms of addressing the fields. I wanted also to give you another example with Kyverna and Cabaletta. Now, you all know, and I share the enthusiasm of the field expanding into new indications. And clearly, B-cell-driven autoimmunity represents a significant opportunity for CAR-T to address it. And we undoubtedly will see significantly developments there. I would not say necessarily cures, but potentially resetting of the immune system, delivering long-term benefit. That expectation led to a lot of enthusiasm and an initial great investment. But I think that investors and a lot of stakeholders, when they've seen a miracle, they want to see a series of miracles. And life is not made of miracles. It's made of sustained effort, development, and reality is tainted with success and a lot of hard work. And so we've seen a little bit of decaying, and there's a little blip that you see there on Cabaletta, where they've announced an expected, really part of the business safety event with a knee-jerk reaction on the stock. My point here is we have that responsibility as product developers or enablers in the field to make sure that we manage the expectations of all of us and understand that we're on for a long run. This is a marathon, not a dash. And so consequently, get trained for it. I mean, I should do it, but anyway. Anyway, we need to manage the expectations. We need to harness the development costs. And again, our partners that brings technological solutions to it are essential on that journey. And we need to harness the market opportunity and improve the regulatory environment. I'll come back to that a little bit. These products have fantastic efficacy, but they still need to be launched. It's not just dumping on the market expecting adoption because they work. You need to prepare, and even more with this product that require not of knowledge and capabilities to be deployed. You need to prepare physicians, patients, environment, payers, everybody to be able to really deliver it. And really make sure that we focus on access because benefits patients and will really benefit the fields. And we still do not see enough penetration. Just a few topics there. We're probably about 1/10 of where we should be. It's only 10% of the patients. We only have about 10% of the US oncology sites able to deliver. There's probably about 5 or a few in the UK. So we really need to expand the capabilities to deliver this product to patients, first and foremost because the patients need it and because the field needs that success so that to have sustained investment in it. This is a little drawing. I mean, it's probably the less professional slide here, but I did it just to say you can do a diagnostic of a site if you say, you know, capabilities, workforce, supply, and really map the ability of a site to be able to deliver these therapies. And at the same time, highlight what are the key elements that you need to go. And if you look at those, different ones, let's now pick one or two that I would like to highlight. Regulatory, FDA, and also EMA, where I was before, but clearly are making an effort and are participating in partnership with the developers. Perspective like being more flexible, coming out with guidance, potentially taking a bit longer to come out, but eventually coming out. Having an approach like the platform approach is making sure that they are partners in the development. We have a serious challenge in Europe. There's a new legislation coming out, legislation that is relating to the pharma, the classification, ATMP, where the cut is going to be, but also on HTA. At ISCT, we'll try to bring all these regulators together and have a forum, a closed forum. The objective is to align risk-taking attitude between regulators globally so that they can learn, share the experience, and consequently contribute that into the partnership with us. Now, manufacturing. This is, and you know, CMC discussions are more than 70% of any product discussion. So we've got to make sure that we harness the developments which relate to making it faster, going to alternative approaches, really improving the technological elements of your process to make it cheaper, faster, more convenient, closer to the patient, closer to where you're delivering it. And that's where some of the approaches on decentralized manufacturing comes in. I mean, again, there's no solution, a miracle solution. There's no one size fits all, but there's different opportunities that we need to look for. And Marcella, gene therapy is a transformative event for the patient, a little bit like a transplant or a surgery. And we need to understand that long-term perspective and how we pay for it and how we reimburse for it. It's also important to put in perspective that this is expensive, but it is a small bit in the rest of the field. And we have to work on making it cheaper, but also have to work on understanding the value that is associated with the cost, not necessarily just the figure itself. The prices are high, but nevertheless, we have to have new models of payment that enable us to really address that one treatment, long-term benefit. You buy a house, you don't necessarily, some may be able to pay it all. You really have to pay as you have the benefit. And there's other alternatives that you can look. There's non-profit approach, Teleton model. There's different models that will enable the access. And it's important that we support those models in a way that we don't damage the sustainability of the system, the sustainability of the business, and we coexist with all those different models. And we're seeing that in a global perspective, like the approaches in India and Brazil, that respecting IP have the opportunity to have additional development. And I think we need to see maybe even a reverse with some of these products coming back. And again, academics, both in the US and in Europe, are looking at partnerships. And these partnerships enable the field, and we should sustain and support them. I wanted to do a quick tour onto ethics, because what we're doing is delivering a lot of value to patients, and we have the responsibility to ensure access, but it's also and manage the cost. But it's also important to have the responsibility on our gene approach. Remember it. We need to make the right decisions for the field, for the patients. And then, obviously, we need to jointly ensure the sustainability of the system. It goes all the way from product development, manufacturing, regulatory, access, and really making sure that the patients get access to the treatment. Thank you very much.